Joyner Sked is the psychopath who killed former Umatac Mayor Daniel Sanchez, and Rudy Quinata had nothing to do with it. That is a synopsis of the defense, Quinata's lawyer explained to the jury in his murder trial today. The trial began today with opening statements from prosecution and defense. Mr. Quinata is accused of murdering former Umatac Mayor Daniel Sanchez. Another jury convicted Quinata's girlfriend Sked. Prosecutor Leonardo Rapadas began his opening statement, describing the events that led up to April 1, 2021, when Daniel Sanchez was killed in Quinata's shack in Umatac. Mr. Rapadas explained to the jury that Mr. Sanchez had ended up at Mr. Quinata's place because he needed a ride, and Sanchez was a grieving widow out looking for some short-lived fun. The next morning, Sanchez's daughter's car sat in Quinata's driveway. Quinata and Sked were nowhere to be found, and Sanchez was missing. Mr. Rapadas concluded by telling the jury if it makes sense, they must find Quinata guilty. Defense attorney Peter Sanchez said,
"You're going to hear evidence that she physically abused Rudy."
Mr. Sanchez described one incident where both Quinata and Sked were arrested, but police finally dismissed Quinata's charges because there was no basis for them. Mr. Sanchez told the jury his client is a, quote, big guy, end quote, standing at 6 feet 5 inches tall, and that the police looked at Quinata and Sked and
they judged a book by its cover. Pay close attention, because the police officers, as it will be revealed as this trial goes on, did not.
Mr. Sanchez advised the jury. Mr. Sanchez pointed out,
the police in their investigation, it will be revealed during this trial, they asked what, but they never really asked why or how.
According to Mr. Sanchez, the police knew Sked's criminal history. 5 months prior to the passing of Daniel Sanchez, Quinata had attempted to file a restraining order against Sked, telling police, quote, I think she's going to kill me, end quote, but the police did not take him seriously. Mr. Sanchez continued to reason that Quinata, in fear, had gone as far as hiding from Sked at his ex-wife's house. Joyner Sked had bludgeoned and stabbed Daniel Sanchez to death by herself, according to Mr. Sanchez. When police finally apprehended Quinata, he told police, quote, Joyner did it, end quote. Sanchez claimed the investigation was superficial at its best.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will find that the government will not be able to sustain proof beyond reasonable doubt.
Mr. Sanchez told the jury, the first witness the jury heard from today was Mr. Quinata's half-sister, Dorothea Santiago. Ms. Santiago described a very toxic relationship between her brother and Sked. According to Ms. Santiago, Sked would hide Quinata's phone so no one could get a hold of him and was envious of Quinata's 5th grade daughter because Sked wanted all of Quinata's attention. Ms. Santiago also said Quinata would often run down to her house seeking refuge, once wearing a pair of sunglasses all day and throughout the night. When Ms. Santiago asked her brother why he was wearing the sunglasses, he told her Sked had punched him and given him a black eye. Trial will continue Friday at 8 a.m. For Kandit News, I'm Danielle Baza. Thank you and good night.